Hello and welcome to the video lecture. Um, this week we'll review text-based elements of the rough draft, and a reminder to hold a third team meeting if possible. We'll review the following during this lecture to include submission expectations or maybe just reminders for the Project 3 rough draft. And then if you do hold a third team meeting, and you really, really should, there are some things to think about, like enacting the work plan for the P3 outline that you've already devised. You should have already decided which teammate will complete which part of the presentation so that you're prepared. You've delegated, hopefully, each part equally so that one person's not doing all the work, and so that you know what to expect from each other. So you should start by copy and pasting parts of the outline to a template that you've created on Prezi, Sway, Adobe Spark, or whatever your chosen presentation app, so that you're ready to go and you can start plugging in with more visuals if applicable and text if applicable. Discuss with your team how you might consider presenting your part of P3 or the whole thing in front of a friend or a family member, and you could receive outside feedback in this way. They might notice something that you forgot, like spelling or color scheme, or pictures are not labeled, or it's unclear why you had the picture, or the flow overall is really unclear. Review the other items that you see on the screen, because these are all things that you could discuss with your group during the third team meeting, and you can find this optional agenda for a third team meeting in the modules. Remember that I'm not the audience for your P3 presentation. I don't care about your topic. For this class, you should put on a professional hat and ready your presentation with the mindset of, I'm presenting this to new members of the discourse community. How best can I show them what this community is for? That being said, you should have a transcript, and if you've never presented formally before, the idea of a transcript might be new to you. However, if you have created a formal transcript or a presentation to be recorded or widely shared, you know it helps to have a transcript ready on note cards or on your phone. A transcript is a record. It's numbered, or maybe it's timed in some way, and it's what you're going to say. A transcript can also explain the relevance of images that you include, if that applies to your presentation type. If you're thinking images don't need to be explained, you should think about, why am I including that image? The audience won't necessarily know that. An image on its own, if you're going to include images, can be hard to interpret, and that's where a transcript comes in handy, and that's where the formula on the screen can come in handy, because it's a way that you can present and analyze images, not just for presentations, but if you're going to include an image in any type of document in academia or outside of academia, you should always label it as figure 1, 2, and so on, and explain in the text why you're including that image. Why does it help your claim or your problem or your solution? So a transcript is a required element of the P3 submission. You'll upload this text-based version of the presentation as a separate file, and for the most part, you should have already finished the bare bones of a transcript, you and your group. When you had to submit the outline and then the draft, a part of P3 assignment, you may have included images and added context with text. Use what you've already written. Make sure it flows with the rest of your presentation in the order that items, claims should appear, or subtopics, whatever you want to call them. Call to action. What do you think of when you hear this term? Call to action underscores for your intended audience viable, maybe solutions. It's examining a problem. The goal of the call to action is to realistically and practically assess what your discourse community is for. Think of the call to action as a way to remind your audience why your discourse community is the best one and what needs to be done to start being a part of it. The conclusion you write for the P3 presentation can and should be a call to action in some way. There's examples on the screen about call to action. And again, it's not a requirement for your conclusion for P3, but it certainly will be helpful to end your P3 presentation in this way. Submission of P3. Remember that late submissions for P3 will not be graded. To ensure that your rough draft is graded, include the group checklist at the top. Furthermore, adhere to your group's chosen due date. Check that the presentation link works and doesn't require permissions to be viewed. And then make sure you're uploading your file or your link and your transcript on time. Additionally, just because it's a rough draft doesn't mean it should be missing major components. Submitting an incomplete presentation or one that doesn't adhere to the basic template or not submitting it at all will impact everyone's grade on the team. Review the password on the screen and make sure to include it with any assignment that asks for it, and it may yield you extra credit points. Assignments for the week. Let's review. The first assignment is very low stakes. It's only worth 5 points, and it's a storyboard. Storyboard is a visual representation of a multimodal project. This is going to help you shape your presentation, and since it's an individual assignment, it will help bring all group member perspectives together to decide on which storyboard or your mix of storyboard ideas can help create the best cohesive presentation. So you all get feedback and you're creating this storyboard on your own, and then together you're going to decide what kind of approach is best. Or I really like Lena's approach or Abigail's take on this, and maybe we'll kind of merge the two. The second assignment is the group submission of the P3 rough draft presentation. I lost where I was going with that for a second. So make sure to review those assignment guidelines with your team during the third meeting, uploading it on time, and then make sure to also review the rubric with your team. It's yes or no questions, just like most major assignments for this course have included a rubric with yes or no questions, point breakdown. So I'm being transparent about how I'm going to grade major assignments. So it's not a mystery to you. I use this same checklist, the bolded items, to grade your assignments and apply points in that way. So when you're reviewing your submission before you upload it, you should do this very same thing. Also, with most major assignments throughout this course, you've had peer review. It's going to be the same as it has been for all other major assignments. You're going to submit peer review on your own. If your group has a link or a file, you should have access to that too, and you upload the link or file on your own to the peer review forum on time. You don't have to get group approval for that. And please include your group number in your submission. It helps me fix peer review pairings in case you get paired with someone from your own group. So after you finish that rough draft and maybe upload your stuff to the peer review forum, Review the modules for extra credit. That's optional. And then remind yourself, you only have 1 week left of this class and you've come so far. Until next time.